everyone. You're obviously confused and aroused.
Then where are we now? Do you have idiots on your planet?
It's me, Zoidberg, remember from high school?
I'm having another lonely weekend in my dumpster with a jar of pennies and tears, but you're listening to Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we'll be discussing Season 9, Episode 11, Viva Mars Vegas. My name is Michelle Burlingame. Not with me are Tommy Roulette.
How's it going?
Pete Woodward,
Oh, no.
who is dying. And our guest today is podcaster Jenny Smith from the Jenny Position.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm so excited. Are you dead? Did I kill you already?
No, it was Michelle's choice of opening line, which is
It was pretty good.
because
I enjoyed it.
Because a lot is the side conversations we've had over the last few weeks has just been like, man, this sucks. I'm at home by myself. I miss people. Which, number one, you never hear Michelle say like ever in the first place.
That's true.
To be talking about the jar of pennies and tears, which is one of my favorite lines from this.
Mhm.
This is, but for people listening, this has been like 3 years in the making, because we were like, yeah, we'd love to have you on a guest when we started this, like when Horchie was on the show. We never figured out how to do remote things until we were forced to by a pandemic.
Well, I mean, this is the best thing that's come out of the quarantine for me personally, because like you said, I've been a huge fan for like 3 years. And I always wanted, like, if I ever go to Cleveland, I'm coming on their show, and they do not have any say in this.
No, you'd be welcome.
And then, because I know you guys always record in person, and when I got your message, you still want to be on the show. I'm like, fuck yeah, I still want to be on the show. Oh my God. Because I didn't even think about maybe you guys were having to do remotes as well. So I'm just so happy.
It's lockdown time. And then I gave you the wrong episode to watch.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Oh, no.
I corrected it in enough time, but when I went to watch it last night, I was like, oh, fuck, that's the wrong one.
What else have I got to do, really? So
I don't know. I started watching Angie Tribeca, and that's been like super enjoyable. Like it's really fucking silly, and I had no idea. So
I've been way into
helping some.
Catfish. That's what me and my wife have been watching Catfish
nice.
on Hulu.
Oh,
no.
The food or the show?
No, the show.
Or
There's
did
people
you
on the internet
or,
like pretend
why
to
would
be
they
someone
watch
else?
the food, Cat?
I mean, but you say that like, duh, the show, but like for all I know, you and Becca got an actual catfish in a tank.
That's true. I know things about you guys.
That doesn't
weird.
It's not outside the realm of
Weird.
possibility.
That's true.
So I think when we first connected on Twitter talking about stuff, you were doing the Moms and Nerd podcast.
Well, it's called Geek and Sassy, but my
I'm
co-host.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I did it again. God damn it. Yes, Geek and Sassy. The steel trap's rusting. So yes, but Geek and Sassy. So you have a background in interesting stuff like this, but what specifically is your relationship to the Futurama universe show?
I was trying to think today how long I've been watching it, but I can't pinpoint it because it feels like it's always been around. Like I've just always watched it, and I can't even. Maybe I watched it originally on Fox, and then just followed it everywhere it went. Comedy Central, Netflix, and everything. Insane. And it was just, I just love it. Like it's just my favorite show of all time. Like
Awesome.
If you have to watch it, that fun wears off.
Well, I can't blame you for that.
It is true. As much as I don't want it to be, it is absolutely true.
I can see it. I do a lot of podcast prep, so yes, I understand.
And for somebody who is casual about it in the first place, like these last 16 episodes, we're staring down the barrel of them like there's a big bright light at the end of the tunnel.
What will you do with your life, though?
A different podcast, probably.
Yeah, some other dumb stuff. But I was all of that being said, I really really, really loved this episode.
This
there
is-
was
It's
so
so
much
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
This episode felt like a original series episode.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of palate cleanser for kind of the bum rum we've been on. Like it's so much Zoidberg, but just the right
Yes.
amount.
It's wonderful.
Mhm.
And then just a lot of like, I think maybe the only new character that really got introduced in this was like Blind Joe. Like
Yeah.
everybody else was almost a callback to some other thing, and that was, you had the Robot Mafia,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you had Randy and Petunia, the Wongs.
The Wongs.
It was great. And then completely unrelated to anything, that whole like Pee-wee's Playhouse puppet sequence at the beginning.
Hmm
Yeah, that
That
was
was-
super cool. The intro
Yeah.
was neat. I don't remember why this one was different. There was probably a reason. There had to have been a reason for it to be different, but
Budget that needed to get
I was
spent.
gonna say
that
those
could be
Korean
it, yeah.
animators you guys been
It
talking
says
about.
it was used to it was the live action recreation, which was used to promote the new season through ads on Comedy Central. So it was also the second major alternative one-off title sequence since Into the Wild Green Yonder, which was one of the movies.
Yeah.
hmm
What I'm curious about, I'm trying to pull this up now. It really looked like something that would have come out of Pee-wee's Playhouse. And I wonder if it's the guy, his name's Wayne something.
Oh,
Did
that
the
guy.
yeah,
Wayne something.
who well he did all of the he did all of the artwork and the design and the puppetry and stuff for Pee-wee's Playhouse.
hmm
And he's done a bunch of other stuff. There's a of course. Oh, wait. Did I just see that? No, I'm hallucinating. I'm trying to look at the I'm sorry. This is
It's classic Pete. I mean,
yeah, I'm multitasking badly. I will at the very least, I'm gonna find this guy's name, but I don't see it listed. Wayne White.
Wayne White.
There is a documentary about him called Beauty is Embarrassing. Super interesting guy. And I can only hope that like they threw a bunch of this Futurama money at him, because like that's the guy that designed Sherry and Zombie and all of those things and a bunch of other stuff. But then the other thing was there was a Jumbotron with the old timey Planet Express crew.
hmm
So no racist cartoon there for once.
I
But a
was
nice
kinda
It
throwback.
was
disappointed
yeah
by
the
that, but yeah.
reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's but it set everything up for like a really good intro. I was really dumb about it when the mafia were attacking the armored car. I saw that it said Binks and completely didn't put together that it would be Jar Jar's.
Until they got out.
Yeah. Did it say anything else? Or
I
was
just
it
noted the
like
Binks thing.
Just
Yeah, I
Binks
just noted
armored
the Binks
security
too.
or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get, hit for that. That seems like a little bit of an infringement there.
I mean, maybe they did back then, but anymore it's all Disney.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's
Which
true.
is
Yeah.
which is weird as hell.
It is
Who would
weird.
have thought back then?
Mm.
But then like the other thing that was nice about it, like despite that that crazy chase scene and then more crazy chase scene, like the pacing of this episode was like super fast too. Like they didn't spend too much time in the break room.
Yeah, they were in the chart room for a lot of
The
time.
chart room was good too, but like even at the beginning, just oh hey, we're all bored. Let's go to Mars Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there watching Hypnotoad. And
It's
have you guys ever been to Vegas? I've never been to Vegas.
I've never been to
No,
Vegas.
me either. I'm sure
Really?
he has.
I have a bunch, and it's Zoidberg's assessment that there's lots of fat guys in sandals.
Sandals, yes.
100% true. my personal feelings, and I know other people that are sort of like-minded. I can stand about 36 hours there.
I mean, before your liver gives out, or
no, it's just it's a lot of overstimulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of shitty people. Just a very, very high density of just like, I wouldn't want to be around these people under the best of circumstances in any place, but now they feel like they have a license to be assholes to the nth degree, and they're drunk. And then it's just, you're in the desert, so it's actually hot. It's really dusty.
I was gonna say, you're not a fan of the heat, so I can see that part.
Everything's air conditioned, but then it's also super smoky in a lot of places. So that, and then like if you walk down the street on the strip, there's like these. I'm not even gonna assign a nationality to them, but there's a similarity as you walk this gauntlet of, like, we'll say migrants with packets of porn hotlines.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
cards,
about.
And they just smack the cards, trying to give you the cards to like call hookers or something. And it's all very unseemly. Now, that being said,
useful, but yeah.
Tons of amazing restaurants, and there are a lot of good shows. So if you plot your vacation or your weekend trip or whatever around, like, I'm gonna go see this, I'm gonna go eat here, here, and here, and then just fuck around, like, you can get in and get out and have a pretty good time. But that being, like, I'm not a gambler because I'm not good at winning money accidentally.
Who is really?
My wife is like, has the best luck when we go to the casino.
Yeah,
really.
I'll give her like $40, and by the time I'm out of $100, she's up like $100. So.
Holy shit!
It's crazy.
What does she play?
Slots sometimes, and then she'll end up playing roulette with me, but she'll just like pick random things and then just do really well. She doesn't.
That's amazing.
She does it like Zoidberg does it in this episode. Like, she just has fun and then ends up winning. So
that's good. But then you have to know when to walk away.
Oh I never know when to walk away.
I mean, clearly, I never knew. I just like Amy's whole. I guess Amy's speech to Zoidberg about saying, "Why don't you stay home?" is probably well-meaning.
I don't know. I thought she was being a cunt.
It was pretty condescending, though. Yeah.
It was like, I mean, they usually ignore him, but they let him tag along. You know, like, she's just like flat out like, "Don't come." That's awful.
I feel like she was embarrassed the fact that he would come with a jar full of pennies to try to gamble. That's my feeling.
I don't think she really cared. I don't think
None
she really
of them
cared
have
whether
money.
he lost all his money or not.
I mean, he had a
They're
system.
all broke.
You just put all your money into the machine until it's gone. It's perfect.
What does she care?
I mean, he could have run a penny slot for a little while with all of that.
Yeah.
So.
He might have won something. You never know.
But then, you know, he gets left behind by the group, and the line that you used at the beginning, Michelle, the lonely weekend in my dumpster with a jar of pennies and tears. It like just, it was so perfect and like so Zoidberg. And then like all the twists and turns that happened after that made it so much better. But I liked as they were going to Mars Vegas, they passed the sign for Morbo's news show. Yeah. It's like, "News you can fear," which is
that hit harder than it
exactly.
Does.
It was
daily.
square root of 2, channel square root of 2.
Yeah, news you can fear, and that's our day-to-day existence now.
Right.
But then, while all this is going on, you've got the mafia, the robot mafia, running away from their bank heist or their armored truck heist. I feel like that if I was going to do a heist, it wouldn't be in an ostentatious roadster.
Well, then you're
that's
not a real
stereotypical gangster mobile.
I guess. I mean,
Don Bot got to have, wheels like that.
He's got to have his classy ride.
Isn't that the type of mansion you like?
but like I just saw them coming down after Zoidberg got in his dumpster. It was like, oh, he's gonna get this and it's gonna be fantastic. And so just as he's about to start praying, it's like, God, well, I'm sorry to bother you, God. And then boom. All right, I'll be quiet.
I'll shut up.
And it was perfect. Was it like $8 million or something?
$8 million.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do so much with that right now.
What would you do with $8 million?
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Toilet paper, number one.
Got plenty of that. I'm all stocked up on TP. Definitely booze. I mean, I'd kind of ride out until this stimulus stuff was done to see if the banks actually collapsed. Because
right. Smart.
Like the no student loan payment for 6 months that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
It is a nice thing.
I enjoyed it when I got paid last week.
You know how many baby tigers you can buy with $8 million?
Oh fuck! Don't get me started on Tiger.
I can tell you, because if they're $2,000 each.
Oh man!
And then you could save money by feeding them discounted Walmart leftover
employees.
Junk food.
You
two,
could,
probably.
You could buy 4,000 tigers, Tom.
Oh Jesus!
I don't think there's 4,000 tigers left.
I don't think.
No, they said there weren't. It says it right at the end of the show.
Which is why you need to let the breeders breed them so that they can make more.
Look, I had that same thought too, but then they kill them when they're out of their money-making age, and then because they have to feed them, they're so fucking expensive to feed
I
them.
mean, that's the problem with the business model.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like there were 3 people who weren't repugnant in that thing, and it was the guy with no legs.
Exactly.
I believe the preferred pronouns are he for the person with the missing arm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Hesher guy who
the libertarian
was like the zookeeper.
Oh, okay.
No, that guy was repugnant too.
Really?
The guy with the long blonde hair.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Yeah, I liked him too.
He and Saf were my favorites in the whole show.
Me too.
Yeah, they were just doing their job and loving their
animals,
job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That bitch went back to work 5 days after losing her arm. That is the most badass shit I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then she's just sitting there like, yeah, so what?
And then they film her in this fucking trash heap. It was like,
I know.
What the fuck is this background?
They film one person in a trash heap and another guy without a shirt on. Like
in the fucking bathtub.
In the bathtub.
Yeah.
With his clothes on. What are we doing?
I mean, it's so easy to go off on a side jag about
God,
it.
I could do it for hours.
Yeah.
One thing, like my takeaway from it was I spent a lot of time in Oklahoma last year and it was miserable. And if I had known that there was a Tiger King Joe Exotic place out there, I might have been able to at least enjoy myself a little bit.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I don't know where Greater Wynnewood is in relation to where I was, but
you might have ended up in a gay marriage though if you met Joe, because he seems pretty good at talking in straight guys into marrying.
Well, to be fair, methamphetamine definitely played a part, and it's not really my scene.
Right.
But
meth and baby
not
tigers. What
know
more
of.
do you need?
You don't know how good meth is. I'm just saying, if you've never done meth, you don't know.
It seems like a lot of people really like it. So
it does. What are we missing out on? You know.
Well, a padlock for one.
Well, I just kept thinking, if this crazy dude who loves tigers can be married 5 times, why can't I get a date?
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, Michelle, look at the quality of. You're much better than him, and
I mean, Michelle.
Oh, and I don't have meth. That's why.
I was gonna say, have you tried meth? It seems to work.
It's not that you can't get a date. It's just that the guys that have been asking you out are like on the Joe Exotic scale of things.
Oh Jesus!
You know, they're just the brief descriptions I hear. It's like, ooh, gives me the willies.
Is anybody using dating sites still, like Tinder and stuff like that right now?
I
You mean
wonder
on
if
this
that counts.
call or in general?
Just right.
I mean,
current. No,
not
I mean
for me personally.
not.
I mean, I've heard I did use Bumble for 3 days and then deleted it.
Mm.
And I have heard and seen things online where like people kind of like last minute tried to find like their quarantine buddy or whatever on those so that they wouldn't be quarantined away from everybody else without,
Right.
access to
Ass.
sexual
Yeah.
pleasures.
Yes.
But I mean, that wasn't my aim. It was just poor timing.
There's Wish out there, there's I don't know how Wish decides what it needs to show me in my Facebook ads.
It's always sex toys. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what you look
Yeah.
for on the app, what your search history is. It's like all they ever do ads for are their weird Japanese sex toys that they're so weird. Like one of them that I got an ad for was like it looked like a plastic business card holder, but it like popped open and it had a cup, like a silicone cup inside, and you're just supposed to jizz in it, I guess. I don't know.
Like at work, like when you just gotta. Good thing I have this
don't know.
business.
Well, I mean, I just like it when there's something where
We got
'cause I can
unlimited
obviously
minutes, guys.
Yeah,
I saw that.
unlimited minutes.
Y'all fuck now if I got unlimited time. Sorry, settle in.
I can, and we're literally 4 minutes into the actual
I know.
cartoon.
We're not
so
even
it's
talking
good.
about the show. I knew this would happen.
This
When
is
Ella
always
does
happens.
Whenever
I have more
something
fun
comes
when
up-
we're not talking about the episode.
Yeah.
Whenever something comes up where I have to look at it because I have no idea what it is, that's when I know they got me. Because if it's just like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh, Wish, you dirty little scoundrel. But it's like, I don't even know how would that work? There was one, and this is probably the best thing I've ever seen on it in the last month. How many of you saw Burn After Reading?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
So George Clooney's character's hobby was building sex chairs where you'd like ride a bicycle and it would like do insertions and things. They had one of those on Wish. It was like, like Dr. Amore self-pleasuring chair. And
No.
yeah, it's like, I don't know if it was like a lever operated thing or pedals. Because it just didn't make sense. I'm like, is that what I think it is?
It's Always Sunny episode where Mac makes a exercise bike where it just rams a dildo or a fisted dildo into your ass to motivate you to pedal faster.
That sounds like
That's
Mac.
genius, actually. But
So did you guys see any of the other performers in Viva Mars Vegas besides Sentient Carrot Top?
no, and I was kind of disappointed. I thought it's a perfect opportunity to put some jokes in there, cheap jokes.
They'd be really good with those sight gags, and they skipped all of it. And then I guess there was a lot of exposition in this next part where like the Wongs are just being ostentatiously gross. The Martians are the native Martians are a proud and grouchy people.
Yes, I love that line.
Because
Because they really are. And I love all the callbacks to what we already know about the Wongs and the Martian people.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
But the uncomplimentary shrimp buffet.
Oh God.
That's the other thing about Vegas. It's a fine line because every casino will have a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
But what they've done with them now is like you got your low rent ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the ones where it's like, we've got some Michelin star chef doing crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all like, you pay $50 for a sitting and then it's lobster and bone marrow and steaks and whatever. But boy, they best me every time. But then you're also in this area with like a bunch of yahoos and they're like, fuck, like, I don't know.
Give me that $5.99 buffet. I mean,
You know what's sad is buffets are not going to come back anytime soon.
no, it's
self-serve food is like gone for a while.
Good.
it is
kind of a
gross to me.
blessing. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that's killing me about it is there's a place that just opened up by us that has it's all you can eat sushi.
What?
You don't serve yourself though. They bring it out to you. You
I
fill out
know.
a piece of paper. I went. I got to go before everything shut down, and it was
Yes.
so good.
It
Oh my
was.
God.
Yeah. They give you a 2-hour time limit.
Mhm.
And then anything you don't eat, if they determine that it's wasteful, they weigh it and charge you $11 per pound.
But it's like a pound. If you waste a pound of sushi,
Yeah.
then you fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
Also, it's small. Sushi's small. You can fit a
Yeah.
lot of that in you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you could. I think when we went, it was my girlfriend and it was another friend of mine that was just back home from like for the holidays in town, and between the three of us, we probably ordered like $100 worth of sushi,
Mhm.
and it was lunch, so it was $16 a person. So we walked out with tip for like $60, and we're just like, oh God, we're bursting with delicious
Mhm.
fish.
How much did you eat, Michelle?
Oh, I always eat like an entire plate full of sushi, but I also like, it sounds super lame, but I have learned, because I've been going to this restaurant for a while. This is their second location that just opened up like 5 minutes down the road from us. Their original location I've been going to for years. But I learned that, you can take Tupperware in if you have a purse, and
Oh shit!
every once in a while when no one's around, you can just put pieces of sushi in your Tupperware.
Oh
eat with
my
it.
God!
Because I love sushi and I'm cheap as fuck.
Oh my God!
That's what I do.
You're a brilliant person.
I don't usually order twice. I just order a bunch, and then whatever I can't eat, I take home with me.
Oh,
But
Jeez.
yeah.
I'm so
cheap.
proud of you.
I'm cheap.
I
I'm
am
sorry.
too.
I'm really cheap.
It will come as a surprise to no one that I used to do a similar thing at Ponderosa.
Oh, Ponderosa.
Oh my God! What did you steal?
Well, in high
Fucking fried
school,
chicken and shit.
yes, in high school, we were able to leave for lunch when you're a junior or a senior, and then on top of that, I transferred in halfway, so all of my periods were all messed up, and I like when I got lunch, it was either at 10 o'clock in the morning or like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mhm.
So there was like 5 of us, and every day we'd go on misadventures. But when we'd go to Ponderosa, which back then the lunch buffet was like $6, I was wearing like a leather biker jacket, and those things have big
Of course.
internal pockets. But if you brought in like a gallon-sized Ziploc, you put it in the jacket pocket and get a big plate of chicken wings, and then just, 1 for me and 2 for you, and fill up the bag. And then when you left, you had a big bag of chicken wings, which you could eat.
Y'all wilding out. Y'all wilding
Yeah.
out.
Well, I
It's-
learned how to do this, the fill up the Tupperware and leave with it. I was in college when I decided to do this, because I was eating in the dorms, like at the dining hall, but you had to eat there. Like they would swipe you in with your ID, and then you had to eat there, and you couldn't take food out of the dining hall.
Lame.
So I would swipe myself in, get a bunch of food, put it all in a Tupperware containers, throw it in my backpack, and go upstairs to my dorm, and then eat and watch TV and not have to be around like 500 fucking imbeciles in the dining hall. Which goes back to Pete saying that I hate people, which is true.
Right.
I
Yes.
mean,
Seems like it.
you and your food and your pennies and your tears.
That's
It's
all you
all
need.
perfect. I when I was taking notes, I skipped over a bunch of this because it was all sort of obvious, but like the tour of the vault by the Wongs to show that like he was basically just showing off, and it's like, okay, they're setting this up for this perfect heist.
Yeah.
But that whole thing with Blind Joe,
Mhm.
who was apparently blind but had a nose that could smell things, and what was it? Was it Bender that was just touching the money, and he's like, something doesn't smell
Yes.
right, and then shot him or smacked his hand.
Because he
But
got so excited his eyes fell out, and he had to go
Yes.
pick them up, and then he tried to pick up money.
But the system-wide alert for the Category 5 sucker
Mm.
was so good, with Zoidberg pulling up and the red carpet like flipping over, and
Yeah.
because I thought like, oh, who's this gonna be? And then it flips, and then it's Zoidberg, and you're like, oh shit, that was beautiful. With it's my $8 million God gave it to me.
God didn't get to be God for giving away
Like
money.
giving away money.
So then they had that whole musical interlude, which
Oh, yeah.
I normally hate when they have songs in the episodes because
I
they're
love
so
songs.
cheesy.
I love 'em.
I love songs, but the ones they do on Futurama are not usually that good. But this one was pretty good. With
It was pretty good.
Hey Rich Lobster.
Hey, Rich Lobster.
You know, the one
And
thing
he has a fucking tiger in a cage in his
Yes.
hotel room.
That's Vegas, baby.
I want to stay in a hotel room that the hot tub is actually in the floor.
The floor.
I've
Yeah.
never seen
Badass.
that before. And I've
Yeah, but
stayed
you've
in
gone to
some
one of those
fancy hotel
places.
rooms.
Yeah, you stayed in those weird Sabaris places, haven't you?
With the heart-shaped tub.
No,
No, it's like
never
a
in there.
it's
There's
a
an indoor
champagne glass
pool
bathtub
in
or
the-
something.
Oh.
There's a pool in the room.
Ooh.
Well,
That
it's
there's- that
separate
there's-
Pretty
from
cool.
That there's
That is
not
cool.
enough bleach for.
Oh, there's
Well,
plenty
I'm
of
a
bleach.
hotel snob, so yeah, that
Ooh.
shit will get me going.
There's I had one. There's a place that I had to stay at in Seattle that had like a hot tub in the room, but it was raised. So like the bed was here, and then in the corner there was a giant hot tub bathtub, and in the other corner there was a fireplace. And I'm like, I think you guys upgraded me by
A
mistake,
little bit,
but
yeah.
I'll just stay here by myself. Don't worry about me.
With your
Um,
pennies and tears.
With my pennies and tears. So then this next sequence where Zoidberg just goes over to the roulette table and plays 34 black and just keeps hitting it and hitting it. It gets like 3 spins where he wins like $10 billion or something.
Yes.
It was like a crazy amount.
It was like 10,380,000,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
$10,368,000,000.
Okay.
And then he goes again and loses it all. And he's like, oh, well, that was fun. And I made everybody happy for 1 minute.
Just
Am I the
drinking
only
this
one that
sardini.
thinks? Yeah, I was
Vodka
gonna
with
say, am I the only
sardines
one
for
that?
everyone.
Am I the only one that thinks that would actually taste good?
Yes.
Okay.
A sardini?
Yeah, like
Sardine.
it would be like a martini, but you know, it would have like it would be salty like a martini is with the olive, but you would just have like a sardine. I don't know. I like sardines.
Well,
See,
I have a continuity issue with this too because they've already determined that sardines are extinct. No, that's anchovies. Never
Yeah,
mind. Same
anchovies,
thing,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
really.
You know, there's a lot of retcon going on in these episodes.
Yeah.
The last one was nuts.
I don't
what
think there's
is the
much of a
difference
difference
between?
between sardines and anchovies.
Yeah.
They're both
Yeah, I don't
salty
think
I'm gonna
so.
fish.
look it up.
And I think sardines are bigger.
Yeah, I think they have bones and shit.
Well,
Yeah, I would, like-
anchovies have bones.
Do they?
They're just small enough to be
they're-
able to
but they're tiny,
consume,
right?
yeah.
So I
So
mean, I
do
think you're
anchovies.
talking about like,
Or sardines.
like I think an anchovy's like that, and a sardine's probably like that.
No,
That's my guess.
I don't know.
Why was that sexual? I don't know.
I've seen stuff at the adult video store that looks like this.
So 2 in the sardine,
Like from
1 in
here.
the anchovy, right?
Yep.
It's yeah, I don't know. I just don't really care for gin. So
Oh, gin will fuck you up.
And it-
I
and
lost
it-
a whole summer to gin a couple years ago.
I lost one terrible night to it, and I remember just enough to remember why I don't really drink gin anymore.
Same, yes.
But I mean, maybe putting I mean, if you want to get a package of sardines and take them up to the 5 when this shit is done, Michelle, I will have a sardini with you.
Oh,
Ugh.
that's
But-
sweet.
The 5. I don't
mean,
know.
Or maybe we could talk them into doing it at LBM or something.
They could probably make us a delicious crafted cocktail with
Probably.
sardines in it.
They probably already do.
I mean,
I'll
if you
ask
think
John.
about it, sardines are salty,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what I'm
olives
saying.
are
It would
salty.
be good in vodka.
So
Yeah.
That was what I was saying.
I think just the whole fish thing kind of throws me off. Though. It's not
Man.
the salt that bothers me. It's the
But
whole fish
I
thing.
mean, but you see people make the Bloody Marys with the crazy garnishes of bacon and shrimp and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
I
could
don't
start-
do Bloody Marys either.
you could start slow with that and just put like a sardine in a Bloody Mary and go from there.
How's
I
that
mean,
worse? I don't know. It's worse.
Because it's tomato juice, but
Hey,
that
that's
might.
it.
I think the ultimate problem is that the fish it's not that it's fish, it's that it's oily.
Yeah, all of that.
And so if you
yes.
put it in, you get like a slick on top of the
Ah.
drink.
Nope.
I
No,
wonder if you
thank
could you light it on fire? That might be something.
If you use like Everclear or something.
Maybe.
Flaming sardini, please.
Yeah. Oh, see, pour some cough syrup on it, a little bit of Dr. Pepper, and a sardine.
Gross. What is wrong with you?
It's you mix the flaming mo and the
Flaming Mo
and a
and
sardini.
Yeah.
Like I've drank worse stuff, like on the reg. So I mean, bottoms up.
Sounds like a Cat 5 loser to me.
Yeah, I mean Zoidberg are birds of a feather, something. But he when he loses, he's just I think Zoidberg is almost like the archetype for a nailed it contestant, because he's like, I know I have no business doing this. I'm gonna try my best. Oh, I did horribly. Well, that's okay. I still tried. So when
And
he
I
gets
had
done,
fun.
yes, and I had fun, and other people had fun. So
He made everybody on Mars happy.
So he goes back to his dumpster, and then the mafia find him and confront him and threaten to kill him. I only caught a couple of the quotes, but I know there was a lot of good stuff thrown around. But it's like, go ahead, hit him over the head with something. He's like, or break something over his head. He's like, we're in a dumpster. Everything's already broken already.
Find the least broken object and use that.
Here's a Joan Didion with just a little bit of the front part broke off.
It was the Judith Krantz
Judith
novel
Krantz.
missing its frontispiece.
And then he whacks him in the fucking face with it.
Yeah.
It's great.
He was cranced pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just that gave him the opportunity to just crazy ink out, which was beautiful.
Yes.
I always enjoy that too. Like,
me too.
To have such an extreme fear reaction from Zoidberg is like, it's really such a perfect thing. And then I mean, it's like, that's part of this episode. It's like the pacing is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like immediately everyone else is like just hungover from the day before. And Fry's got a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face.
Dude, where's my ship?
Does Tyson still have that tattoo on his face, or did he get it taken off?
No, yes, he still has it.
He's
It's
still
still
got it.
there. That was, I mean, it basically kind of pulled in, because that was all from The Hangover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the plot of Hangover 2, where
Right.
Ed Helms' character gets that tattoo on his face.
Yeah.
We
But
don't talk about Hangover 2. I don't think anybody needs to think about
It's-
Hangover 2.
It's not canon. I mean, I probably watched it, but I don't
is.
remember.
It's just not good.
Oh, lightning doesn't strike twice.
Mm-mm.
Aren't there 3 of them though?
Yeah.
Yes, which is horrible.
So
Awful.
just completely diminishing returns.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I mean, he
Um,
got super lucky with that movie, so there's no way they were going to recreate that.
The first
So now-
Hangover is the reason why Ed Helms was made like regional manager on The Office.
Mhm. Yep.
I mean, and now that you can't make funny movies anymore, that's why the guy made the Joker, which was not funny.
I heard you guys talk about Joker. That movie fucked me up.
Yeah.
I felt some feelings, and I can't watch it again. Like,
I don't ever want to watch it again. I saw it in
Yeah.
the theater and I was like, well, it wasn't awful, but I also didn't like it.
I just
It
had
wasn't
like
bad.
I had an intense reaction to that movie, so it
Yeah.
was just like a little too much for me. And it was great though. I mean, I really, shockingly, DC does a good movie. I don't know. So
Yeah,
weird.
that's true. Yeah.
So weird.
I just watched The Dark Knight again last weekend.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, me too.
I love
And
that
it's-
movie.
I mean, I tried to do like the whole thing with Batman Begins. Batman Begins, I couldn't keep my attention, but The Dark Knight is so good.
It's so
It's-
good.
It's beautiful.
And I the first time I saw that in the theater, I almost got into a fight with an accountant because he was just a New York tough guy, and I accidentally kicked his shoes while I was walking down a crowded aisle, and then turned around to say sorry, and he thought that I was like talking shit to him.
Mm.
He's like, what did you say to me? I
Oh my God.
I said I'm sorry. I didn't see your feet. It's cool. You got your kids here and you're wearing a polo shirt and khaki shorts, but whatever, dude. Like, we're good. That whole.
So then he kicked your ass.
No, then we just watched it because it was like July in New York and it was like a gajillion degrees. So it was the one air conditioned place in the city that you'd just be like, oh, it's dark and I'm not sweating. Thank God.
And then there's this movie about anarchy and shit. And so that.
I mean, they didn't blow
Probably
up
didn't help.
any. They didn't blow up any football stadiums or anything in that one. So that was good.
True.
They tried to
Did
blow
anyone-
up 2 boats or 2 boats.
Yeah, they
but-
tried to.
But
The
Devo
hospital
took care
got
of
blown.
that.
The hospital got blown up.
Tiny Lister.
Devo, yes.
He did not get knocked the fuck out. Did any of you catch what the machine the professor made, the tattoo remover, is
No.
actually called?
I
'Cause
didn't.
He gave it a big dumb long name.
Yes. I figured Michelle probably was on that one.
No, I
She
did
tends
not
to
write
keep
it
those
down.
notes. I didn't either.
Yeah,
I was like,
usually
she'll
I do.
know.
Something translucent to fire
Yeah,
or something.
something like that.
He's like, so.
Yeah, I missed that one.
But what does Fry say to him where he's just like, so it removes, or wait, so it makes the ink transparent?
It
or
was
something,
literally describing how tattoo removal currently works.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it breaks up the pigment small enough for the cells to carry it away and dispose of it.
Gotcha.
And
And
it sounds
Fry
simple
asked,
enough.
Yeah. Fry asked, is it going to be a less painful version of that? Professor's like, no, nobody said that. Here's a laser on your face.
And then Zoidberg gets zapped accidentally and goes invisible, which was beautiful.
It was so cool.
But that whole scene with Joey Mousepad and Clamps after it, where they come in to try them, shake them down, and he's like miming beating Zoidberg up.
Yes.
but when he's like, "Be careful, there's some kind of smelly air pocket." I mean,
It's so
that's-
perfect and simple and hilarious.
it's just, yeah, it was really good. I mean, I think at this point there was almost like just nonstop like good lines coming through. What was the it was Joey Mousepad and the Donbot sitting in the bar, and he's like, "We should take over the casino." He goes, "What are you, an idiot?" Pretty much, yeah. Like, just that kind of stuff was just like coming. And then the way that they came over back to Mars and just took over the casino and took over the mansion, because those fancy mansions are the Donbot's favorite kind. With the Wongs moving to their trashy trailer park. I mean, that's the other thing about Las Vegas is like there are so many people there whose lives are tied into the casinos and stuff, whether they're dealers or housekeeping or whatever. So it's not necessarily slave labor. And if you're like a croupier or something, like, you can make a good living doing that, but you know, you're still adjacent to Las Vegas and it gets like gross, and it's the desert and there's no water and it's going to be untenable and unlivable in just a few short years if everybody doesn't drop dead already from a pandemic. Anyway,
Right.
I got carried away.
No.
Casinos are closed right now in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
There's like
I believe
no
Thing is-
very little industry in Las Vegas right now.
Mm-mm. No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my neighbor is a liquor rep who sets up like liquor demos for bars. You know, like you send in pretty girls with like a tray of shots, and that's she sets up those events. And right when Ohio kind of shut down, she's like, everybody was shutting down their events except for the strip clubs. And she's like, all of my strip club events are still out. I'm like, that's just taking it to the next level, where it's like, not only is it don't be around people, it's like you're paying people to get extra close to you without anything between you.
Right.
And then,
What we decided in South Alabama to do was make the strip club into a car wash. So you can get your car washed by the strippers and tip them very well.
that's brilliant.
I thought it was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
like, good for everybody.
They
They're
gotta
making
work.
the best of it. What else they gonna do? So
It's like, and especially if they bring the car wash to you, because like I
Right.
need to wash my car and I haven't even taken
mobile
it to the
car
gas
wash
station.
is a thing. So
Mm.
I'm just saying.
It's pricey.
I think they're
though.
smart
I
in
have a
South
feeling
Alabama.
the tattoo industry is going to turn into a thing where you're behind another wall and you just put the body part through a
Yeah.
hole.
Like
Yeah.
a glory hole.
Yeah.
Glory hole
Glory
tattoos.
hole tattoo.
But it's a tattoo.
Oh
I
my
mean-
god, that would be awful.
And by the way, the machine was just a translucidating ink polarizer.
Gotcha. I mean, that's basically that thing from Flash Gordon, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You stick your hand in the stump.
Need to stick my hand somewhere and get a fucking manicure.
They do
is
that
what I
in
need to do.
Idiocracy, too. I
Yeah,
think.
with the machine.
Yeah.
It stamps him as not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can just drop it here on this bloody mattress. Uh, the Amy feeling sorry for herself in the trailer bathroom was lovely.
It
But
was
then
lovely.
the moment of connection between her and Zoidberg was beautiful too. It's like you can't afford tissue. This is Walgreens brand nose paper.
That was my other pick for the opening line.
Then followed right up with like, oh, I was just in here grabbing a bubble cake.
Yeah.
And then closing the whole scene with the toilet seat compressing under the invisible Zoidberg. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. Like, yes, he's the invisible man, or the invisible crustacean at this point. But,
Decapod.
like, right. Like, I'm not gonna get that pole out of this thing. But like anything that went inside him became invisible because the ink was made translucent, which you would think would just mean you could see through the ink to the body. So that was, he was just saturated, I guess.
Imagine
but,
being in a bathtub with Zoidberg.
Well, first of all, I mean, you might want to drain it and then refill it, and it might be kind of nice.
And also, why didn't the ink come off in the bath?
Yeah, he was in the bath.
He
And
was
he said
in the
all
bath.
you gotta do is wash it off.
Just wash it off. Like I was
the
like,
ink's inside.
Maybe was he sitting in the bath or was he just sitting next to it? Maybe
No,
that was.
he was
I
in the
think he
bath.
was in the bath.
yeah,
Mm.
because he was eating his bubble cake, really close.
That was a big plot hole.
Yep,
You're
very
right.
big.
Oh my God,
And
that's
casual nudity too in front of Zoidberg, too. Just like
Yeah.
Amy's
Well, that's
just like
Amy.
whatever.
That's Amy
Yeah.
for you.
He's free spirit.
yeah, that's pretty on brand for her.
Yeah.
But then it moves pretty rapidly into the whole heist planning. So we see the chart room that's never been seen before.
I love the chart room.
Have you ever been anywhere that has a chart room?
No, but I
I
wish I'm gonna turn this office into a chart room.
Do it.
Really? Charts are expensive unless you're
Charts
just
are
printing them
awesome.
out of like
That way, when we're
Excel
doing
or
this, I
something.
can just pull down a chart here. Well, actually,
There was a long time ago, I played at a bar in Memphis called the Map Room that was kind of done up like that, where like, and I thought there was a map room in Cleveland for
there
a
was
while
in Lakewood.
too.
In Lakewood,
Was
Yeah.
there? Where was
Um,
that?
where now isn't, I don't know what it is now, but the Graffin Street Pub was the map room, or the map room became the Graffin Street Pub, or something like that. But
And then Bonnie and Clyde's, and then Yuzu, and then Ahi Noodles.
Maybe.
and not
Noodles.
probably nothing.
I don't think anything's in there right now.
I mean, there's a place that was opening up, but
Wait,
Yeah.
did Ahi Noodles close?
I mean, did
Not
they
that I ever
open?
went there.
Yeah,
I think they did.
They
I
were
thought
they
opened.
were no Agostino's Sushi Rock.
Oh God, that was weird. I don't know if we've ever talked about that on the podcast, but there was a restaurant next door to my house that sold sushi and Italian food.
What?
It
Yeah.
was. Fortunately, I never got there. Although I heard you say that initially it was okay, but it was like,
I mean, it was not awful. The sushi there was better than the actual Asian fusion restaurant that was in the location before.
right.
Which
So it was
what,
like,
what was the decomposing, or like the decomposition of a sushi? Like they had some restaurant right around there was like you would get sushi, but it was all the pieces and you ate.
Well, was that
Oh.
Roxu?
It may
or
have
you-
been
Roxu.
Roxu.
That was Roxu.
It may have been
Okay.
Roxu. Yeah, it was that place first.
We're not just talking about Cleveland restaurants. We're
Yeah.
talking about close Cleveland restaurants now.
Yeah, like
Let's-
I can see it from my house.
the
All right, Sarah Palin.
But it was an Asian fusion place, and they had sushi once a week and a whole sushi bar. They went out of business because their food was terrible. And then a family that had an Italian restaurant bought it, and they wanted to keep the sushi bar because of how cool like the inside of the restaurant was. So they continued selling their Italian food that they, already had a restaurant selling, but also added sushi onto it and hired a sushi chef. So one side of the menu had like, chicken piccata, and then you flipped it over and you could get like a California roll. It was fucking
But
weird.
it was there used to be a place, they had a few locations, it was called Sushi Rock, and I guess they
Mhm.
sold the rights to the recipes and the name to this family that had the Italian restaurant.
It wasn't though. It wasn't the same sushi at all. It wasn't Sushi Rock Sushi. They just I don't even think it was a Sushi Rock restaurant. I think they just called it
It's
that.
just so weird.
I don't know.
Like, I just pictured like some guy coming out like making sushi, but hey, it's me, a Mario.
No,
you know?
they did have a sushi chef, and he was behind the sushi bar, and then the Italian food was made in the back. So like, it was confusing, and nobody went there, and they went out of business.
And now it's
really
$2.
quick. Now it's a $2.
And they had Pepsi instead of Coke, and I didn't like
Oh, fuck them. Fuck them so hard.
So, I guess I'm coming back around to what I was trying to get at with the invisibility thing, because
finally.
Yeah, I know, right? Have you seen any of the news articles over the years where it's like, we've developed a thing that'll make stuff invisible, where it basically just like bends light rays around it so you can see? It looks like you're seeing through it, but what it is, the light's like bending around. Like, I feel like that's what was going on with Zoidberg in this.
Well, I think a couple of the scenes you could like see, it was almost like a Predator type. line of it.
Yeah.
But then there are other times where it's literally nothing there. and they
Nothing
just
there,
had
yeah.
It's like, over here with the donuts.
Yeah.
The-
Which did you prefer on those? Like, did you like where you couldn't see him, or where you could kind of see his outline?
I just liked it when stuff bumped into him.
Me too.
Not.
I didn't really like the
I didn't
ghosty
need-
version.
Yeah, I didn't need to. I felt like that cheapened it a little bit.
I think so too.
I
But
like the best part was like towards the end where they're carrying him out of the vault and then they
Yeah.
plop him down
Yeah.
on the sushi cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
That's-
sushi or the shrimp squishes. And they
Well, that
Ugh.
was the whole point of the heist. So they plan this thing where they're going to sneak in with the broken with the old shrimp cart on the way to the dump and pretend to break the cart so they can sneak in invisible Zoidberg.
Speaking of which, Amy's whole like telling of that plan is like a stereotypical
Yeah, it's like
heist.
an Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
and I love
And-
the part she's like, I'm not gonna tell you this part until we're doing the heist.
and then Zoidberg's job is to eat all the money in the metal box. But then they're like, well, he's invisible. He's not unsmellable. Like, how are we going to do this? And then they go during the shrimp change, which had these great like lines with Randy and
Petunia.
And Petunia. He was like, what's bringing the stank?
Not
it ain't
me.
my gambling, dumper.
Like-
It must be the shrimp.
I just changed it.
I do also like when Fry, Leela, and Amy come out in the hazmat suits and they have the original like people tied up in the elevator. They're in their underwear, which means they were just wearing their underwear
The
in the
hazmat
hazmat
suit.
suits, or they took their clothes also and wore that.
I mean, those suits
Oh.
don't breathe, Tom.
No, I know.
So, I mean, you probably just want to keep it natural underneath.
I guess that does make sense.
And
I
then,
never
like,
thought about that.
like if you had to go to the bathroom, like the fewer layers you have to get through.
Yeah.
Especially you got like gloves on to to unzip.
I mean,
and then
if you're in a hazmat suit and you have to go to the bathroom, I'm pretty sure there's a whole decontainment thing you have to go through before you can even touch your wiener.
well, if they do it like they do on the spaceships, then you got a little, cup in there. You got to hold on. I bought one of those for Jim Matthias for his truck. It's called a Little John, and it's like a canteen for you to pee in.
I have something similar because I podcast a lot, and it's called a pee cup.
Bringing pee cups into it?
Dude, pee cup is my gimmick. I mean, I talk about it freely. I mean, everybody pretty much knows. Listens to me about the pee cup. I just feel like y'all should know.
I mean,
it might come in handy.
I've had a pee cup in vans before.
Fierce apple.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I liked their Bender showing up as distractions of a Texas robot millionaire, Hermes as the president of Nigeria.
You might have gotten
and
my
the professor as an and with the banner, the sash that just said "Runs Nigeria." Yeah, and the professor as an internet millionaire.
One question: Bender says something in that, he says, "Nigel, thank God it's Hermes," or something like that. He says something weird that I did not understand, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but
I didn't.
He calls Hermes by his name when he shows up.
He kind of fucks up. Yeah.
Oh, that could just be Bender being stupid and lazy.
Yeah. Probably.
It's but they do such a good job of distracting them. Zoidberg's able to get everything down, but seeing him towards the end of just
yeah.
Have you seen The Great Outdoors?
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
I can love that movie.
With John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, and there's the whole thing about the old 96er.
Yeah, the steak.
The 96-ounce steak, and he gets down to the end of it. He's like, he's done. He's like, there's still more. He goes, that's just fat and gristle. Eat it. and that's the thing. I used to have really serious hopes of becoming a competitive eater.
Aww.
I just don't have it in me anymore. I really don't. There's enough things I do that are probably gonna kill me. I don't need to add to that pile of
Same.
I can't take on the Black Widow or Kobayashi. And then there's I don't know. There's got to be a documentary about it out there. I'm sure there's a seedy underworld that has to do with competitive eating.
Oh, I'm sure.
But with Zoidberg, it's like the hiccup vomits.
Yes. When has he ever eaten so much? Really?
He ate all of that rotten.
There
must have been something wrong with that rotten shrimp.
Yeah.
and he starts it with just the best groan, oh.
Yeah.
I love when he's trying to eat the box and it pops back
comes out. Yeah.
I've had that happen before.
Has it?
Just get down there.
Shrimp cart's paying out. That was a great line. Kind of throwaway, but also hilarious.
But that's so they try to go to the roof. Zoidberg's too heavy. The elevator falls to the bottom, and they all survive that. Of course. Which I wonder,
suits.
Is it the hazmat suits? The fact that they're
Probably.
on Mars where the gravity's lesser or something?
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
go
why
with that.
not? But
They seem to be walking around all right, but
yeah, there's no permanent damage or even immediate damage. But
cartoon logic.
yeah, fuck that stuff.
I mean, how much weight you think was in that elevator?
I
all
think
the shrimp
all the shrimp, all of Zoidberg with all of the money,
and the shrimp.
and I feel like they
Zoidberg ate. Oh, hold on, let me pull my chart down. 300 pounds of money.
Which seems like a grossly small amount.
I was thinking that too.
But then again, that could be where Mars gravity comes into play, because if you're on smaller gravity, that same amount of stuff on Earth would be 6 times higher or whatever.
Is it? Is that
What
what
about
the
volume
science is, Pete?
I think it also depends on what denomination of bill Zoidberg ate.
Yeah,
because he could have had 300 pounds of $100 bills.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it's
$1,000,000.
sizable. It's sizable anyway.
How much does one single dollar bill weigh? Like how much is 300 pounds? How many bills is it?
Oh God.
Oh,
Get out your
Google
wallet.
wormhole. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much does a dollar weigh?
This is where we're at now.
I mean, it's germane to the conversation.
0.66 euros.
Oh God, what? A dollar weighs 1 gram.
Oh.
So dollars are metric.
Oh God, that's weird.
Which means, oh no, this is the Illuminati at it again.
Well,
Yeah.
400. You would need 453.592 grams to equal 1 pound.
Oh God.
Times.
So if it was $1, 1 pound would be like $454.
Which isn't very much. Even
No.
physically, it's not very much.
Times 300.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot.
See, I think they're adjusting for.
And if he's
for
stealing
gravity
all
on
that
Mars.
vault money, I mean, he ended up winning, like, before he lost it all, like $10 billion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but those were in chips. But again, the $8 million was in that giant sack.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
More inconsistencies.
I still think it just depends on the denomination of
I
the
agree
bill.
with that. Yep.
So, Mars's gravity is about 38% that of Earth.
Yeah, but they're not like floating around. They're walking.
No, it's still big enough to
They're
hold you
also-
down to it, but
They're also in a casino, which may have gravity that matches Earth. So we don't know.
True.
They're not
Might.
floating around in that. And also,
Just
you'd
make-
have to have the same gravity to run a roulette table or run any of the, like, actual,
Slot
like,
machines.
yeah, like,
Yep.
you would need actual gravity to, especially
they're
roulette
just
machines.
no. There's still gravity. Like we send rovers on there that fall to the ground on
There's
Mars
gravity,
and stay there.
but
if you went to do like a kick-ass jump on a skateboard or something, you could go like 60% higher.
so they are the odds in Mars worse or better than the odds on Earth for roulette?
I think the roulette table would just run a lot longer until it finally stopped.
And land on what, 34
Whatever.
black
34 black
34
twice?
or 15 red.
I'm gonna play
It's, you know-
34 black the next time I'm
You
doing
should.
roulette.
I want to see you do it. And you know what? That just, now that I think about it, Tom, with how much did you play roulette before you took the Gnome de Plume Tommy roulette?
That's a good question.
Once? No, never actually, never. Because I got the name before I turned 18, so I couldn't go to a casino. Not to mention, there hasn't been casinos in Ohio like for a very long time until recently. So, you know.
See, this is what y'all should do when you wrap the pod: is take a vacation to Vegas.
Oh God,
Yep.
that would get real ugly real fast.
No, just make it quick, like you said, 36 hours, maybe.
Have to find a good show,
Yeah.
somewhere to eat.
We're going to record
your
our final
tattoos.
episode
Mm-hmm.
at a roulette table in Vegas.
Do it.
At the top of the stratosphere.
Get your matching tattoos, a bender's face on your asses, because that's happening.
We could do that right now, probably.
Well, not
I mean,
right now.
Not
but
not on the books, but
not now.
we're so close. We're so close to wrapping up this
You are.
storyline. Yeah, like the metal box had the original deed. So when was it Randall Wong or Richard
Randall
Wong
Wong,
or
yeah.
Randall Wong originally made the deal with the native Martians? He said, "I'm going to have the casino for 100
It's
years."
Sir Reginald Wong, actually.
Reginald.
I like Randy Wong.
Yeah. That's his friends probably call him that. Randy or Reggie.
Probably.
Reggie Wong. But yeah, then it turns into a weird Mexican standoff between the native Martians, the mafia, and the Planet Express crew and the Wongs. and the native Martians escort the mafia people out and banish them, and then you know. Or God's thing is like escort the trespassers to one of the desert's finest holes, and then the native Martians are like, yeah, and they take.
Well,
the
Blind
mafia
Joe's
out.
like, we will, ironically, or something like that.
Well, there's that little quick gag where he goes to point the gun at Zoidberg, and then Fry just pushes it the other way,
Yeah.
like they just tip it. But that was lovely. I guess the Wongs got their mansion back, and they have another casino.
And their
so
other
it's like,
casino.
and their buffalo, their Bugalo farms, and their hemp farms. Like the Wongs are fine. They're just greedy.
Also, weren't the Martians super happy they had that giant diamond for their land?
Yeah.
I mean, geographically, they could have been on the other side of the planet or something, though. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I guess they could have a diamond and work in a casino.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they chipped the diamond up, and if everybody's got the diamond, then nobody has the diamond.
Yeah, what are they doing with the diamond?
So if I wrote this correctly, like the little button at the end of the show is Zoidberg asking if he's going to be invisible forever, and the professor goes, "No, just until you take a bath and wash off the invisible ink." And Zoidberg goes, "Oh, so forever then."
Forever then.
And he wipes off his little tentacle.
His mouth, his tentacles.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoidberg. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, and this is our 120th released episode, I guess, based on my counting. That like this might be one of my favorites.
Really?
Like yeah, because it didn't. There was no like weird Fry and Leela baggage. There was no Katie Seagal singing. There was no like seriousness or heaviness. It wasn't like the luck of the 7-leaf clover or anything, or like that stuff, or
Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just very like, this is gonna be silly, and we're not gonna make things too crazy and like, say fuck it to this world we've built for 10 years. Like it was all just like, it's right in the zone. I think that's when you're saying it felt like one of the first run episodes. I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a refreshing episode from what we've been watching.
Oh
season.
God, yes. Oh my God.
Well, I'm a huge Leela fan, and I felt like she definitely was not featured in this at all.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Yeah.
normally her role is to make the plans, and be the leader. So kind of odd seeing Amy in her role. I don't hate it, but I'm just, I'm a Leela fan.
I mean, Fry and Hermes and even Bender to an extent were pretty second rate in here too. I mean, but that's what was nice, is it was one of those episodes where they like, we're going to take a little side jag, but it's going to be fun. And when we get to the end of it, there's no like shocking revelations. It's just like, this could have happened on a Thursday.
Right.
And now here we are, and we're back to tomorrow's Friday, and everything's back to normal.
It is weird though, like with Amy in that role that she was in, it kind of reminded me a little bit of that one like Saturday TV morning show episode where they do the Scooby-Doo thing and they try to figure out the mystery of it, and then George Takei's line in that is like, wait, kabuki theaters don't have projections, some do. And it's just very like a matter of fact of Amy like just talking about what's gonna happen in these.
Wait. What show is this?
That was an episode of Futurama.
Yeah, have we gotten to it?
I don't think we've gotten to it yet.
Oh no, we haven't. We haven't. Okay.
That episode is my son's favorite episode.
I like that episode a lot. I
it
think
is
it's
amazing.
Really great.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of
something to look forward to.
Yeah, they do a bunch
really
of it's a anthology episode, but they do a bunch of different like Saturday TV morning cartoon shows, like they did for the last
What If
where they showed the cartoon at the beginning in the Jumbotron, where they did
Yeah.
thing. They do that, and actually, next episode is also a completely anthology episode, non-canon.
Is it it's not the next one, but the one after that, I think.
Naturama. Oh no, okay,
No, there's
they have it
Next one's
backwards in this.
the Fox one, yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I
That
told
is
Jenny to
Nature.
watch until last night.
Yeah.
I like the Fox one too.
I like the Fox one too.
Hopefully we're in a good deck. I mean, look, we've recorded 2 episodes in 2 weeks, so that's like a record for us.
I'm
mean, we
really
keep
proud.
doing
Yeah.
Really proud of you guys.
It's been hard, but when you put us all in the same place and to the point where we can't go anywhere, it's helps get things done.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad we were finally able to make this happen 3 years
Me
after
too.
the fact.
I mean, I had an absolute blast. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome back anytime in like the next 16 to 52 weeks it takes us to get through
Deal.
the rest of these. Do you have anything to plug? I mean, we mentioned your podcast at the beginning,
Mhm.
but what all do you have going on for?
Well, I have a podcast feed. It's called The Jenny Position. So what I do is a bunch of different shows, and those include Geek and Sassy, of course, which I do with Miranda. That's my oldest podcast. I do a live watch horror podcast called Freak Out Drive-In. So I talk about a horror movie with a guest, and we basically just do what we just did, just go off on
Like,
tangents
While you watch it, or
while
like
we watch it together. Yes.
oh shit.
And I love that show. And I do a show called Talk and Pop with my friend Tim Capel. We it's like a drunken late night talk show. So we have some interviews with friends. Sometimes we've done a live episode most recently. So that was fun. We had somebody write us relationship advice. They asked us a question and then we answered them live. And then we talked Tiger King, of course. So we do a little bit of everything on that show. I have another one called this is for the nerds. So it's called The Journey Through Infinity. It's me and 3 other dudes, and we're watching the entire MCU from beginning.
Oh my god.
Nice.
And one of us have not seen it, not me, but one of the guys hasn't seen any MCU movies. So he just started when Disney Plus started.
If he needs anybody to commiserate with, just to be like, this is exhausting, like
He's into it, so it's good.
And for you guys
enjoy
that
most of
don't
them.
know, MCU is the MacGyver cinematic universe.
Yes, exactly. What else would I be talking about? So we just did the Avengers. So we're trucking through there. And
oh my god.
another show, I know this is like a lot, but I mean, it's all in the same feed. You don't have to like search them out or anything. They'll
Right.
just, show up. But another one called Bianca's First Time. I have this friend who has lived a pretty sheltered life, and she hasn't seen very popular and beloved movies. So I watched those with her in a live watch. And our last one was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Really?
Yeah. So I get to like get her real-time reactions to.
But
these
do you
things.
get to put in like, are you gonna like sprinkle in like a Showgirls or like an Eyes
Maybe.
Wide Shut or something? Like you could really lean into that. I don't want to traumatize anybody.
No, she's a little bit more conservative than I am. So I don't know that she would pick. I do let her pick the movies. So
Gotcha.
Dirty Dancing probably will be as salacious as we get. That one.
What about
everything
Havana
else-
Nights?
Oh, well, we'll see. That is a classic that everybody knows. That's a lot. I also do pro wrestling podcasts. I don't know if you guys are pro wrestling fans, but
Dude, we
all of-
got ones that listen to them for sure.
yeah.
There's-
So all of my stuff can be found on Place to Be Nation. That is the whole entire wrestling network. And I have a bunch of shows over there as well. I do a lot of podcasting.
You're really prolific. Like that's
Yeah.
impressive.
I just fell in love with it, and it's one of the few things I'm good at, and like that and drinking Jack Daniels is what I do pretty much. So, but you can follow me at Jenny Position on Twitter. I also have the Facebook page, and so all my shows will be on there as well.
Excellent. This is so good. I'm so glad we made it work after
Me too.
being forced into quarantine.
And you
Yes.
were
That's all it
not
took was a pandemic to get
in
me on the
Ohio,
show.
right?
No, I'm
You
in
live-
Florida.
Florida. Okay.
Yeah, yep. I have some family in Ohio, and friends in Cleveland, but
I mean, we're here for the foreseeable future.
we'll see. I hope you guys make it.
We'll be all right.
Stay at home.
He said, right?
I know.
Well, on that note, we completed our second episode in 2 weeks. It's
Good
so
job.
exciting.
Wow.
I
I'm so
know.
proud of us.
I am too.
If you want to listen to other episodes, they are at slurmcast.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter and Instagram at slurmcastpod. You can email us at slurmcastpod@gmail.com. Call us or text us at 216-438-1077. Write and review us on iTunes. Go subscribe and listen to all of Jenny's shows. She's clearly putting them out at a much more frequent rate than we are. So like keep that feed full while you're holding your breath waiting for us. And we'll be back, I bet, soon. We're almost doing this with somewhat of a frequency. So.
You're still gonna get them every other week, but as long as we keep recording them, then we will consistently give them every other week.
Yeah.
That's right, Wizard World. Take that.
Yeah.
Right.
That was like the last Wizard World before this all went.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Uh,
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
all right. Bye.
Bye.